There are already approximately 200 moons in our solar system, and more are found every day. Some moons have strange shapes and surfaces that are ice or molten, and some may conceal life beneath their oceanic surface. Come along as we examine the actual photos of our solar system and what NASA actually found there. Join us on this thrilling adventure as we unravel the mysteries of our solar system, including the secrets of a 350-year-old storm, dispel a myth about the hottest planet, and reveal a planet other than Earth. Please continue watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing to our channel. Pluto has 5 moons, some of which are so far away that they are difficult to imagine. The largest of these, Charon, was found on June 22, 1978. At 750 miles across, Charon is half as large as Pluto. The pair is known as a double dwarf planet system because they orbit a central point in space rather than one another. This image illustrates the differences between the two planets, which is what 40 years of technology have brought about. In July 2015, the New Horizons spacecraft passed over Charon. The Grand Canyon in Charon is twice as deep as Neptune and spans over 1,000 miles, making it 4 times longer than the Grand Canyon in the United States. In our solar system, Neptune is the 8th most distant planet from the Sun. The Hubble telescope recently took a photograph of Neptune in December 2020. Because Neptune is so far away, the best images of it came from the European Southern Observatory's giant telescope using a narrow field, adaptive optics mode of the Explorer's Instrument Multi-Unit Spectroscope. The photo shows the most explicit images of Pluto you'll ever see. Voyager is the only spacecraft that has come close enough to Neptune to capture 21 images showing a massive storm raging on the planet. Neptune KN Triton is one of the 13 moons of the planet Neptune. On August 25, 1989, the Voyager 2 spacecraft Blue captured these pictures of Triton. The largest Neptune moon, Triton, is strange because it is the only moon in our solar system to rotate in the opposite direction of its planet. Its volcanoes and geysers spew water, ice, and ammonia, leaving behind enormous craters. One of the craters is 9 miles across, and researchers believe there are vast oceans of liquid water beneath it that support some life. A planned mission called Trident is currently underway to get up close to these oceans. Although Triton will pass so close to Neptune that tidal forces will tear it apart in millions of years and create brilliant new rings around it, Neptune won't always have this moon. We are aware that Uranus has 27 moons, but we will focus on the unusual ones. Miranda contains surface canyons that are 12 times deeper than the Grand Canyon and have a major fault, unlike any other known canyon in the solar system. Because Uranus orbits the Sun on its side and has unusual seasonal cycles, the third largest Uranus moon umbrella is blue because to its water, ice, and rock surface. This implies that the North and South poles will experience 42 years of full sunlight and another 42 years of nonstop darkness. One of Voyager's most graphic pictures, obtained with 3 color filters, was taken in 1999 as the spacecraft passed Uranus, the 7th planet from the Sun. The photo was taken by Voyager on July 11th and 12th, 2004. Uranus's composite image was prepared. In November 2011, the Hubble telescope took a stunning picture of Uranus, displaying colored images of the red rings and icy blue spheres. In 2017, the Hubble telescope captured or was once again on Uranus. The Keck telescope revealed the icy cold world and its rings, as well as those bright spots on the planet's surface that we call auras. We will spend some time with Saturn Pan, a small moon with a distinctive shape discovered by the Voyager mission in 1990. Saturn is a magnificent ringed planet with several moons, with 82 discovered so far. Another of Saturn's innermost moons, it had a peculiar shape and measured only 8.6 miles in diameter. Atlas is peculiar. Some people claim it resembles a UFO. NASA's Cassini spacecraft captured some futuristic images of this unusual flying saucer-shaped moon, which is about 19 miles in diameter. However, researchers say it looks like a space sponge because it's probably a piece of a larger ancient moon that was destroyed in a massive impact on the early solar system. At first glance, we think this isn't a moon, but you'd be wrong. The giant impact crater, which covers a third of its diameter and measures 80 miles across with walls 3 miles high, as shown by the fractures on the opposite side, and the 3 Mile-high craters on Saturn's sixth-largest moon almost tore this moon apart. Because NASA's Cassini mission captured photographs of massive water ice blooms erupting from the surface and blasting far into the atmosphere, scientists were able to determine that Enceladus had subterranean oceans. In order to gather samples, NASA chose to direct Cassini to fall into one of these water vapor plumes. With 13 years of data and more sophisticated technology, the Cassini spacecraft has given us new and amazing images of Saturn in the solar system. Aside from Earth, Titan is the only other planet with liquid water on its surface that combines with complex chemicals required for living organisms. Cassini discovered ice particles, salt, hydrogen, simple organic compounds, and even complex organic compounds. This means that the oceans of Enceladus meet all the requirements for life to exist. Don't worry, though. We remember Triton, the second largest moon in the solar system with an atmosphere rich in nitrogen. The Dragonfly mission, an 8-rotor drone that will use Titan's dense atmosphere and low gravity to fly around searching for indications of life on Jupiter, is NASA's attempt to learn more about the origins and signs of life. Another planet with an astounding number of moons, some estimate that Jupiter has over 80, is Jupiter. Currently, Ganymede, the largest moon in our solar system, is even more important than Mercury and is referred to be the king of the moons. The moon of Jupiter. The image, which combines data from the Keck 2 telescope on Mauna Kea, Hawaii, shows a gigantic eruption that covers an 11-square-mile area as the explosion ejects material into space. Io, with its 240 active zones, is the most volcanically active spot in our solar system. This picture of volcanic plumes was taken by NASA's Galileo spacemen. As demonstrated on June 28, 1997, when one image was taken on the moon's rim and the other in the image's center with a reddish hue, the greatest volcano on Io is fortunate and always active. Shadow. Another Jupiterian moon, Europa, is erupting. Behind its thick surface, life may exist. It is believed that the frozen crust contains large internal oceans that contain more water than all of Earth's water combined. NASA's Galileo probe, which has a magnetometer on board, discovered something, conducting electricity on Europa, proving that the oceans are salty. Europa is pushed and pulled by Jupiter's immense size, which creates heat friction that causes the surface to expand and fracture. This picture illustrates how ice patches form in jigsaw puzzles and how the red brine below rises to the frosty surface. It is believed that Europa may offer favorable conditions for subsurface life. The moon of Jupiter. The outermost of the 4 large moons, Callisto, is roughly 3,000 miles in diameter. It is devoid of volcanoes and subterranean oceans. Interestingly, its moon is as old as the solar system, geologically dead, and the most heavily cratered object in the solar system. Galileo spacecraft images are worth looking at. Callisto is Earth's closest planetary cousin, Jupiter, also called the giant gas planet, is the largest in our solar system, with a unique look from all other worlds due to its giant Great Red Spot, a storm raging on it for 350 years and large enough to swallow up the whole Earth. The Juno spacecraft, flying just 500-600 miles above the Great Red Spot, captured the closest image of the massive storm. A bit further away, it is more accurate in color than we would see if we were orbiting Jupiter, but it also captured incredible pictures of pole regions that are impossible to see from Earth. And what's surprising is that Jupiter's North Pole has storms spinning at its center that are all laid out in precise geometrical design. The storms, which appeared as regular fixtures in Jupiter's atmosphere, are not typical weather. Still more incredible photos would come. And on November 13, 2018, using data from the Juno Image app, helped create a new image of Jupiter. And it's nothing short of breathtaking. The Hubble telescope on July 27, 2019, captured Jupiter's trademark Great Red Spot, which researchers believe is shrinking Mars in our solar system, the 4th planet from the Sun. Humans have always been quite interested in Mars, and the planet has been explored in great detail. In 1979, the Viking spacecraft took breathtaking pictures of the Valles Marineris, and in 2013, the Viking orbiter took a picture of the South Pole Plains and polar ice cap. In 2013, the European Space Agency's Mars Express took incredibly detailed pictures of Pebbles Cosmos, which is the northernmost part of the Valley of Marineris. as seen in the movie made from the images taken in 1913. According to the finest photos, one of the two moons orbiting Mars will meet a terrible end. The tiny moon Phobos is located 17 by 14 by 11 kilometers away from the Mars reconnaissance, the orbiter. The most notable feature of Phobos, the largest object on Mars, is the Stickney crater 6 miles across Sinai from a massive impact that nearly shattered the moon. Phobos is approaching Mars by 5.9 feet every 100 years, and in 15 million years it will collide with Mars. Phobos's larger of its two moons is non-spherical in shape and orbits the planet so closely that it completes 3 orbits in a single day. Mercury, the planet nearest to the Sun, orbits at a median distance of 36 million miles and moves at a speed of over 900 miles per second. Over the years, numerous spacecraft have examined Mercury, but NASA's Messenger was the first to orbit the planet. Pictures revealed the surface covered with images with spectral surface measurements collected on April 29, 2015, show craters of various diameters and huge asteroid impacts, such as the 168-mile diameter Van Eyck crater and the 960-mile diameter Caloris Basin Jason, which has mountains on its rim that are 1-2 miles high. Before purposefully colliding with the planet's surface in 2015, the Messenger took more than 200,000 pictures of Mercury. The probe had been orbiting Mercury since March 2011, when its fuel ran out. And just before the crash, it returned its last dot, the highest resolution Mercury image ever taken. Our next globe is the hottest planet in our solar system, despite your initial assumption that Mercury will be the warmest of the planets nearest to the Sun. Venus, the planet closest to Earth and the second from the Sun, has a dense atmosphere, composed primarily of carbon dioxide, nitrogen gas, sulfur dioxide, and nitrogen, which traps the heat from the Sun and makes it a horrible place to live. Devendra, the Soviet Union, constructed the Lander 13 to investigate Venus, and it was the first to send color images from the planet's hot surface, which reached temperatures of up to 880 degrees Fahrenheit. The probe was only intended to last 30 minutes, but because of its tank-like structure, it continued to send data and images for more than 2 months after landing on March 1, 1982. In 1992, NASA sent the Magellan spacecraft to map and photograph the entire surface of Venus. After the mission was complete, the spacecraft crashed onto the flaming planet's surface. At last, we return home to Earth. Earth is the final planet with a moon that is closest to the Sun. Not only is the moon a rock that floats next to us in space, but it also keeps us company on lonely nights. Our planet depends on the moon to sustain life by controlling its wobbling axis. The moon is the original wonder of our night sky, the 5th largest natural satellite in our solar system, and the only place humans have set foot outside of Earth. The moon regulates the tides in our oceans and helps maintain a steady climate and natural Earth rhythm. The moon's formation was probably caused by a collision between a Mars-sized object and Earth 4.5 billion years ago. The early moon has areas of light and dark, indicating that it once had a molten crust that crystallized to form the gray landscape we see today. The moon is moving away from Mars' Phobos moon at a rate of 1.6 inches per year, and the planet's rotation is slowing down. When the Sun turns into a red giant, the moon's orbit will decay, pulled by the Sun's atmosphere, and it will get closer to Earth until it reaches the rush limit, which is 11,470 miles above the planet. At this point, it will be torn apart, creating a ring of debris around the equator. However, there is no need to worry about this. We have roughly 4.5 billion years left until it happens, which is an exciting conclusion. More discoveries are made feasible by today's sophisticated technology, which uses historical data to produce amazing new photographs of our solar system's moons. Thank you for viewing. Please remember to hit the subscribe button below, follow, like, and comment.